Do not try to get on a bus, a train, a plane, or a boat. You will be detained by international blah, blah, blah. And
yeah.
I'm like, my God, I am going to be arrested in France.
We are the Stills family. After 15 years of marriage, 3 kids, and successful careers, we decided to take a left turn and change our lives completely. We quit jobs, we quit the never-ending pursuit of chasing more, and we packed up for a grand adventure through Europe. Along the way, we are rediscovering ourselves and each other, learning what it means to slow down and rest, and finding adventure in the simple and extraordinary. We are Stills in Halftime.
It was a super interesting day. So we had invited our neighbor over to have dinner. Kids were out playing. Jennie was like finishing up dinner and she gets a phone call.
Yeah, I get a phone call that I don't answer. And so I checked my voicemail and it said...
Yes, this message is in reference to a Mrs. Jennie Explodes. Mrs. Stills, I wanted you to contact me back as soon as possible upon receiving this message. This is Lieutenant Jim Brown. I'm with the Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office Civil Processing Unit. You can contact me back here at the Sheriff's Office on our non-emergency phone line. The number for that is 704-325-8566. Again, it's 704-325-8566. Again, this is Lieutenant Jim Brown. I'm with the Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office Civil Processing Unit. It is imperative that you do go ahead and contact me back today. This is in regards in reference to an ongoing civil matter that does and will require full attention.
I called him back immediately.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you should know about me is I do not like to get in trouble. So I call him back immediately and he answers the phone. This is Lieutenant Jim Brown. And you were in the room at this point.
So I was in the room at this point. He started chatting about like, you missed your jury duty summons, sounding very legit. I mean,
Federal jury duty.
Well, it got a little, and there was some holes at the very start about, he was calling from Mecklenburg County. We don't live in Mecklenburg, we live in Union.
But the number was registered to Newton. I could see that on
Yeah, and then...
Which is not in Mecklenburg.
And he had also found the number to my parents, who at the time you were talking to him, my mom called me and she was like, hey, someone's looking for y'all. I said, okay, well, so they'd obviously done some work.
Yeah.
We've been out of country for months. So if they tried to contact us, I guess it's possible that we missed them.
It sounded legit. And I was afraid I was in trouble. And kind of hard to solve from here.
Yeah, because we haven't been home. So if they mailed us something, it's possible it slipped through the cracks. If they came out of the house, we assume our renters would have told us, but maybe not. So
our neighbor is supposed to be coming over in like 15 minutes.
Thank you for watching these videos. It means a lot to us. If you liked it, please hit that like button and subscribe.
They are very clear with me on the phone that no one can be in the room with you. You have been placed under a gag order by a federal judge. You cannot say a word. And I'm not thinking clearly at this point.
I was in there listening.
Afraid.
Right, but I was in there listening for the first piece of it. And then when it got to a point where you said, listen, I've been out of town, and they said something along the effects, oh, well, we just have to, put it in the system or whatever that you never received your summons. And in my head, I'm like, okay, well, if this is real, this is over. So I left, I went upstairs and I just assumed this is all over.
Yeah.
And then I came back down and you had moved outside.
I moved outside because they're like, no one can be around you. This is private, like gag order from a judge. Yes, I think so. Here's what I understand. I understand that I was summoned, but that I did not receive the summons because I'm not been in the country, but that I'm still connected and we have a process to go through.
Anytime a potential juror or juror of any trial is selected now, they automatically get a suppression gag order back in. It simply states by law that they're not allowed to speak about that trial to anyone, speak about anything having anything to do with that trial to anyone, or even anything connected from that trial to anyone other than potential jurors or jurors of that same trial. or you would have been issued the dismissal form in order for you to fill out, sign and date, excuse me, in order for you to be able to be dismissed from that setting to where you're no longer being connected to that trial.
Can you tell me when the court date was?
Yes, ma'am. The court date was just yesterday, which was Friday, the November the 4th.
Okay.
All right? And you're connected to that federal trial. Because if you violate this person order, member, before you're actually able to get this taken care of, or before the trial is over with, the honorable judge has already pre-ordered in your file to charge you with an additional felony obstruction charge along with your current charge. Now, there is no civil process to get that charge taken care of. You'd have to do mandated time serving in the county jail or state correctional facility if you wasn't charged with that charge, okay? So, understand? But due to the fact of the active warrants levied against you, there's certain protocol and procedure that we have to follow in order to get this resolved in the civil process without any criminal action. You understand?
I do. It just is because I've never been in trouble. It's freaking me out, and I can't like go somewhere because I'm in France. So.
All right. It's going to be confusing to you. It'll probably be frustrating, a little difficult at points, okay? But as long as you allow me to help you, ma'am, that's my job. I'm pretty much like your advocate today.
Okay.
I'm the one that's supposed to make sure that you do not get arrested, detained, or catch any additional charges due to your connection to that federal trial. As long as you follow the orders, ma'am, I never had a citizen that was arrested that was following judge's orders.
Okay.
So,
Sounds good.
we're going to get this resolved for you, ma'am. I just need your cooperation to work.
Yes, a gag order means don't talk about it.
Yes, just us talking around someone now that is not a potential juror or juror and them in earshot to where they can overhear it would be violation of that suppression gag order.
Got
That's
it.
why there isn't anyone around you that could cause us to put that suppression gag order that could cause me to have to charge you with an additional felony obstruction charge, okay? All right, as long as you know why the judge ordered the order against you, you understand what the consequences were to violate that order, you can go ahead and make a verbal statement for the honorable judge at this point that you understand the suppression gag order and you understand the consequences were to violate that order. Once you make that verbal statement, that gives us authorization to move forward, okay?
Okay.
Now, always remember to state your name, date, and time for any verbal statement, and it can be as easy. All the honorable judge needs to hear, Mr. Stills, that you understand the order and you understand the consequences, all right?
Yes. My name is Jennie Stills. Today is November 5th, 2022. It's 5:55 p.m. I understand that I have a gag order to not talk about anything about this until it is resolved. And if I do, another warrant will be given to me.
Yes, additional felony obstruction charge.
Yes.
Understand, correct?
I understand.
I don't want to put you in any situation that can cause your situation to get any worse.
Okay, got it.
Especially in another country. Now, if you were to actually be arrested due to the fact that the active warrants actually coming in to the country or before you even leave that country, what happens is we have to extradite you.
Got it. Hello? Shoot. Hello? Hello? No, I need you to, you're gonna have to handle him. He's about to come over here and I have to finish this.
No, they're chasing together. Who are you calling?
I gotta call him back. The call failed and this is like serious. I'm so stressed. So our neighbor comes over.
Yeah, so we were sitting in there, and I was getting, it's funny. I was even talking to our neighbor. I was like, this is definitely, or it's sounding more and more like a scam. I said, I'm just waiting for the time when they ask us to pay money, right? Because that's when it's obviously a scam. But up until now, like,
we're 45 minutes in.
yeah,
and
there's no
still
money
going.
involved, and I'm like,
And I'm
what
terrified. They're saying, whatever you do not get on a plane. Do not try to get on a bus. A train, a plane, or a boat. You will be detained by international blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah.
I'm like, my God, I am going to be arrested in France.
You had a pad of paper,
Yes.
like with names, case numbers, penal codes. All of these things. So
Yeah.
eventually you came.
I start to panic.
Yeah, so like we were like just having dinner.
So here's when I started to panic. They mentioned money. And they said, you have to pay. I was in violation of two things. So they said, you have to pay $2,000 for each thing. And they weren't a fine, but it was a surety bond. So that meant that if I showed up, which in itself is difficult because I'm in France, that I would get it back. And so I am still trusting that this is legitimate, but I started to panic because I was like, I need to talk to my husband about this. And they're like, ma'am, if you speak to your husband, you will be in violation of the gag order, and it will be an automatic 6-month whatever of jail time. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, Nick's gonna be mad at me because it's $4,000 gone. I can't tell him where it went because I'm under a stupid gag order, which I've never seen. I don't know anything about. I don't even know what this case is about. Like, what am I supposed to not talk about? And then, I mean, at this point, I wasn't thinking clearly about anything. I was just panicked because I'm like, how am I gonna make all of these pieces work? So I come inside, our poor neighbor, everybody's eating without me, this food I worked so hard to cook, and I'm like, you need to call a lawyer, and I'm like bawling.
Yeah.
So you do.
Yeah, so I have a buddy, so I shoot him a text. I called him, didn't answer, shoot him a text, and of course it's Saturday. So
yeah, I'm not even thinking about that either. It's Saturday at like 7 p.m. our time.
Yeah, so finally I'm like, this is whatever. So
I am full-blown crying.
Yeah,
outside.
you're crying. So
Yeah.
I go outside and I see this legal pad with all these notes. And these people are still talking.
Yes.
And so you put them on mute because, and you're like,
You can't be here.
yeah, she's telling me, you can't be here. I'm going to go to jail. And so, we put him on mute and I start looking through this stuff. And all of a sudden I see something written and it says Venmo or Cash App.
Yeah.
That's all I saw all the other stuff, but Venmo or Cash App. And so I hit mute again and they're still talking. And I was like, what are they telling you to pay? And you're like, she walks me through, well, it's $4,000 a surety bond. And if I go to court, and I was like, how did they ask you to pay? And it's like through Venmo or Cash App. And I think at that point I reached over and hung up the phone.
Yes,
And
which...
you lost it. You lost it.
Have you ever seen me lose it like that?
No, but you knew that the moment I hung up the phone, you were going to jail. You actually told me something about you can't always be a hothead, and I'm thinking, I'm not. Look, the government doesn't call you on Saturday threatening to put you in jail for not showing up for jury duty
The day before.
and then want to have you Cash App them $4,000. And you were not.
I was past bawling.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
you had lost it.
I was in complete panic mode. Complete.
Yeah, and so, of course, they start calling back.
Oh, they called like 6 times. Yeah.
And I'm, do not answer the phone. Do not answer the phone. Don't answer the phone. And eventually.
And I'm like, you just sent me to jail.
Yeah, you just sentenced me to jail. And I'm like,
That sounds so ridiculous.
it does sound ridiculous.
Yeah.
But,
so I go in and eat because I'm starving. And I'm like, first, I've got to eat some food.
well, we begin and our neighbor who, past life,
He used to be a
was in a
lawyer. Yeah.
law, not like trial or anything, but we start kind of unpacking these notes.
And he's kind of laughing.
Came to this conclusion that, this is not real at all.
Meanwhile, our kids had been in for all of this. So Smith, bless his heart, hands me a note that he had drawn and written that has me behind bars, the FBI written on there. Like, he was so concerned that they were going to come take me. Everly is looking at all of the notes that I've written, and she's looking for hidden clues in them. And Lennon is just being Lennon, but it was so unnecessarily dramatic. So here we are the day after. You are 100% sure this was a scam.
Yes.
I'm about 85%. So tomorrow, I'm going to call the sheriff's office in Charlotte and make sure there's no warrants out for my arrest. I just got off the phone with the Mecklenburg Sheriff's Office, who confirmed, shaking his head, that it was in fact a scam. They don't have lieutenants, and also and also, if there was a warrant out for my arrest, they would not call me and tell me. They would just come get me. So, crisis averted. I will not be detained in France.
Oh, you're going to be detained?
You know, you hear about the lady who, like, sent her life savings to the prince to save a country of wherever.
Africa.
And you're like, how could they fall for this? Well, clearly, thankfully we didn't send him any money because you hung up the phone. But clearly I am one of those people.